All right, so we have our company analyzer here, and what this does is essentially do research on a company's pain points and solutions for those pain points better than really anything you can find in the market right now. And the way we do this is using a custom search tool that allows an AI to really get deep into what's going on with the company, what people are saying online. But without further ado, let's go into our sheets here, pick a company like Lovable, an AI website slash app builder that is really on the go right now, that's really popular. And let's just run this nodes, and then I will pick back up with you when this has finished running, and we'll see what the end result is. All right, so we can see now that after a couple minutes, this workflow has ended, and now in our Google Sheets, we will actually be seeing 5 different pain points that the company has, which companies are, or which customers, sorry, are talking about online, with quotes and from where these were found, which you can see here. One, for example, critical publicly disclosed security vulnerability with an assigned CVE and multiple community reports of exploitation and impacts across apps. So, for example, a quote that is only one of the cases where our bot found such a pain point was lovable critical security vulnerability, which would be the title of a post, usually on Reddit. And here you can see Reddit. So if you want, you can click on this source, you can check it out for yourself. Let's check out another one. Multiple independent write-ups and news coverage reports real site compromises and characterization of Lovable as exposed to attackers. So for example, another quote, Lovable is a sitting duck for hackers, from not Reddit this time, but Semaphore, a relatively trustworthy news source article. And as you can see, you find 5 for each with the quotes and sources directly here. And you'll also, of course, find solutions, which I think is probably one of my favorite parts, because it doesn't just tell you what is wrong with your company or with your competitor's company, but how could you or your competitors fix this issue? What could be done about it? And this is done usually in a quite technical way. So what you could say is immediate program, enforce automated dependency and container scanning. So I'm not a dev, I don't really know too much about what this is. I didn't work on developing Lovable. However, companies or you as a CEO or whoever you are could be showing this to your developers and say, hey, maybe you can use this for something and fix this issue that customers are saying we have. So now let's actually check out relatively complicated. There's a lot of nodes and a lot of steps, but the main part is that we start by fetching the company and the URL, especially the URL, from this Google Sheets that I showed you right here. We then prepare these fields in a way that AI can look through it, AI checks it out, and then goes through a search query. So, or rather, it develops search queries using this prompt that I gave it here. And you can see here it got 8 different queries that help it find things that we really need. And it also excludes some different sites, includes different ones, just to help it really later on get the best search results possible. These queries are then taken and run through a custom search site. So this is essentially Google, but for us as a company personally, that no one else can use. And it's then run through this, and we get a bunch of sources. We get around 80 sources, which you can see here, 80 items. And if you check here, this is just a code node to put these sources all into separate containers. You can see 8 pages, 10 per site, 10 per page, all full with sources, which is really good. However, it takes some time after, because then we have a filter here, and this is a re-ranker. It goes through all of the different items, all of the different URLs that it was given, all the different websites, and it ranks the 15 to 20 best sites from those, the ones that really show pain points, that show what is wrong, and then puts those in a new ranking. So here you can see this code node then takes the 20 items and passes on only those, which here then in the fetch web pages brings us the exact page and exact content of said sites. This is then brought through a couple more nodes just so that our final and realistically most important node, AI node, the company analyzer itself, can run more efficiently and can actually read these sites. So if you click on it, you see a bunch of different items here, which then are brought here through the pain point solution, and so on for all of the different sites that it could find. And the reason you don't see a prompt or anything here is because the prompt is actually in the code node, which is mostly just a testing thing. Right now we're testing if having the prompt in the code node and referencing it later on in the analyzer in the AI node itself is somewhat beneficial. Right now we're still 50-50 on the edge of whether we're going to keep doing this, but it does show promising results right now. So after this is done, it formats the output into something that Google Sheets can use, puts that here, and puts it right into our sheets. It also updates here the researched at field, which essentially just lets it know, don't look at this one again. Don't do the entire process for this one again, because it does take up around 10 to 15 minutes every time it runs, and you don't need to be wasting that time and storage on something that's already been run. And then once we have that finished, it'll loop all the way back to the start and check, is there another item? So is there another company that whoever it is wants analyzed? In this case, no. If there was another one, so if we had another company here, it would have ran through the entire process again and done everything from the start. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making this. It is a really cool concept in my opinion, and it's really cool to just see that it goes beyond just a normal, hey, research this function that most AIs have, because there are a lot of hallucinations if you just let ChatGPT, Anthropic, any model really, Gemini, look just through the internet and grab whatever it wants to give you whatever answer it wants. And this really makes sure that the answer isn't hallucinated and is as accurate and deep, especially, as possible. Many of you probably know the saying, I'd rather dig an inch wide and a mile deep than a mile wide and an inch deep. Because if you go wide but not deep, it really doesn't help you, because there's going to be a lot of surface level issues that if you fix them won't really change the issues, because the actual wounds, the bleeding, comes from further down. Now, once again, I really hope you enjoyed this, and maybe you can use it for your own company and check out some of your own competitors or what customers are saying about your own company. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want anything like this, any chatbots, any voice agents, etc., built, we are always open for work, because right now we still have around 5 to 6 slots open for companies that we could work with. So definitely, if you want, write us an email, check out our website, and book a call for a quick discovery chat. We'd be happy to talk with you about possible solutions. Take care.